I'm Jason Bradbury, and I host the Gadget Show. And I guess the favourite thing about doing the show, as far as I'm concerned, is the access that you get. You know, it's like access to amazing things, like a sort of personal submarine, or you know, some weird liquid polymer that is going to lead to mobile phones that heal themselves when you drop them on the floor. And you know, in normal everyday life, people don't get access to that kind of tech. You know, and that's a really special thing about being the host of the show. I don't really get involved in prototyping future products. I do work with companies sometimes to launch products, and so I see products before they go to market. But interestingly, the only experience I've had of actually coming up with, creating, prototyping a product has been through Gadget Show challenges, where like recently Otis and I had to make a toy, and that was all my own work, and I came up with this thing called Squidio, which is a ruggedized camera for kids. It struck me that there weren't any ruggedized action cameras that were sort of sub 50 quid for children. So I came up with this sort of octopus squid-like thing that you could attach to your shoe and kick a football and film it, or whack it on your skateboard or your rollerblades or your waveboard or your BMX bike or your helmet. And so that was conception through to not production but prototyping, working prototype. So that's where my experience is, really within the confines of the show. The exocomputer is something I'm really interested in. The one lap per child project, as it was called, yeah. And yeah, they give it to kids in developing countries, like you say, like Rwanda and certain parts of Africa and sub-Saharan Africa and South America. And these laptops basically have a proprietary operating system based on, I don't know if it's actually their own or whether it's based on Linux, but someone will tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Yeah, but basically it's a computer that someone with no experience of computing can instantly sit down and make sense of. And I've experienced that because my daughter was 3 when I gave her this computer. And she was able to open it and make it start saying her name and speaking to it and playing games on it. So it's a really good project. They've got a new version out now, which I've not actually seen. I'd like to see it. But the concept originally was that you bought one and then someone in a developing country got one for free. So you effectively bought 2. Although I think they've changed that aspect of it, which is a shame because I really like that as a concept. I love that. I love when it's not just the product, it's the way it's marketed and sold that's unique. We're living in a really interesting period in history, a kind of renaissance, if you like. So I believe it's a period that we'll look back on as historians in future generations and look at its significance. You know, the birth of the Silicon generation, and that's why we're all here. That's why there's 66,000 of us over the next 4 days, because we're coming to worship at the altar of Gadge. And while that might sound naff, I actually can't think of a better way of articulating it, because the people here have real genuine passion for technology, and so we're all together, we're all united in our love of technology. And you know, I think it's significant. I really think that what we're doing at the moment will lead, ultimately this generation will solve cancer, you know, we'll solve issues with the biosphere, we'll work out new ways of powering cars. Technology is a real force for good, and I have no problems in saying I love celebrating it for 4 days of Gadget Show Live. The Modern Warfare 2 challenge was one of the best challenges we've done on the Gadget Show. So we rebuilt the pit level, but for real, physically, with an actual Special Forces soldier running around it, and it was massive on the internet. It was huge. I liked winning that challenge. I wish I hadn't jumped around quite so gleefully, because I wouldn't want these Special Forces guys to think I was taking the mickey, but then, you know,
so they had to before, didn't they?
It's all fun, yeah.